Howdy y'all, welcome to another episode of Vern's Misadventures. So in this one I'm going to talk about a little bit of an experience I had at the Vintage Computer Festival Southwest, which we recently had June 23rd, 24th, and 25th in Richardson, Texas, which is a little bit north of Dallas. Anyway, I decided I would go ahead and buy a couple tables and be an exhibitor at this thing, so I printed up a banner with the Apple IIe and the RX 80 and loaded up about 9 computers and headed on down, set up a little exhibit. So among my exhibit, I made some signs that said a little something about the computers, you know, what they are, when they were released, what's inside, a little bit of information about them, you know. And so the powers that be were looking around, and they decided that they liked how educational my booth was, so they went ahead and gave us a little award there, kind of like a honorable mention or whatever. Wasn't originally going to be part of the awards, but they decided to make a couple extra ones. So I got this little memory stick that says educational on it. So it was pretty cool. It was really awesome to get to participate and attend, and I got to meet some neat people. I met a few other YouTubers, got to meet some other like-minded individuals who really appreciate these old machines, and got to hear some stories from some people while they played video games on my computers, and they shared stories with me about memories that they kind of triggered. And it was really great. I mean, it was just a fantastic experience to see the joy on people's faces that these machines brought them, and to know that some effort that I put forth and that brought these machines back to where they could actually play the games and do the things that they were doing. So it was a very gratifying experience, and I really enjoyed it. So I ended up buying a few things while I was at the festival, and among them was this IBM PC 340. I got a CD-ROM drive to put in it. I got some cassette tapes, which are in the plastic wrap there, wrapped around with rubber bands. I got a cable for a keyboard in an upcoming project. I got some 720K diskettes. I got some software for a computer I don't even have yet, but I guess it'll help push me in the direction of getting the one that it goes to. I got this cool Sony monitor here, and I used it right away. I hooked it up to the Apple II. Then that freed up my HDMI monitor to use on some of the other machines. Let's get into this IBM PC 340, and let's see what we can do with it. Alright, so the first order of business was to remove the labels and stickers and tape, all that fun stuff, get it cleaned up. I found that some isopropyl alcohol did a great job removing the tape residue. Next step, of course, was to remove the one screw that holds the case closed. Pop the top off and have a look inside. Just kind of pull it forward and pop loose, and then you can just lift it off. As you can see, the front faceplate had issues with broken tabs. Looking around in there, and it's pretty dusty. I was looking for swelling caps or loose wires, floating screws, things like that. Didn't see anything. So, since the biggest issue was it was dusty, I decided to just take it outside and get the computer duster, blow it out real good. So after a good dusting, I brought it back in and connected a keyboard, mouse, and the VGA cable that connects to my video capture device, and I thought we'd go ahead and see if we could boot this thing. Alright, let's see what happens. Ready, go. So the computer powered up, displayed the splash screen. If you press escape, you can abort the memory test, and with 80 megabytes it takes a while, so I went ahead and did that. Figured I'd go ahead and have a look in the BIOS, see what we got here. Alright, system summary. Let's have a look here. So we got a Pentium 166, 640K base, 79 meg extended. Yeah. Onboard video, 256K cache, 384K shadow RAM, 1.44 meg floppy, and 1.2 gig hard drive. So I attempted to boot the computer, but it just wouldn't boot. I tried multiple times, wasn't able to get it to work. So, which was a real bummer because I really wanted to try Windows 95. I didn't start messing with PCs until Windows 98, so that would have been something new for me. Since it wouldn't boot and I had to turn it off anyway, I went ahead and changed the CMOS battery real quick. Of course, I stood in the way of the camera, so can't see much of that. Just to cover that we did get that done. So after changing the CMOS battery, it's always good to start the computer, get the settings straightened out. As you can see, we have some startup errors because things are not set. Oh, and it also helps if you actually plug in the floppy cable, as illustrated. So it won't boot to Windows 95. Let's see if it'll boot to DOS 6.22. My fast start disk. In she goes. Starting MS-DOS. Nice, it booted. Okay, so it run DOS, so let's see if it'll run the Petsky robots. Quick directory. Yep. Robots EXE, that's what we're after. Alright, we're going to choose VGA. And the PC speaker. So it did work, and we got the music and all that. I didn't want to play the music or include the noisy air conditioner or the background modulation of my family, so I went ahead and just did an overdub of the sound. In a future video I will include some gameplay and we can hear some of the beeping and whatnot. But at any rate, it would run the game. So here, now let's go. I decided to go ahead and just break out these little metal blocks here so that we could install the CD-ROM, and then we could install Windows 98 2nd edition, which I actually have the install media for. Bought it at Fry's. How about that? Long time ago. So there's my brand new CD-ROM that I got for $10. Pretty cool. Got it from the guys sitting next to me in the booth next to me at the festival. There's the comparison of the shades of beige. Not too far off, though you can see that the floppy has yellowed a bit, as has the faceplate. Well, I managed to dig out the IDE cable. That's nice. Got a connector we can use. Let's see. Oh, looks like the jumper is set to the master. We're going to have to change that. Change that over to the slave setting. Hard drive will be the master. In she goes. I round up a screw later on and put it in, although don't think I included it in the video. But if you're worried about that, I do get it done. So it's kind of cramped in there. We're going to hook up the power first, and then we'll put the IDE cable on secondly. First thing after we turn off the computer, that is. Oops. Alright, now we're jamming. Let's give it a try. Let's see if the computer's going to recognize it. Looks like it noticed that something has changed. We'll have to run the setup again. Did we ever redo the setup when we changed the CMOS battery? I cannot remember. At any rate, we're going to load default settings, and then we'll make sure that the CD-ROM is detected and present. Let's see. Go. IDE drives. Yep, there it is. Save these settings and we're out of here. Alright, well, of course it's going to try to boot and fail, so anyway, I'll turn it off and then we'll load up the Windows 98 CD. So we'll run the installation. I'm not going to show the whole thing, just kind of glaze over it here. Got her installed. There it is. So I was looking here, and on the inside of the cover there's a little sticker, and it shows there's jumpers, and it shows that there's a disable floppy drive write. Now that would make sense in an industrial setting. If this is a business computer, you wouldn't want your employees to be able to walk off with your files and whatnot, so you might want to disable that. That makes sense. But we're going to use this in a home setting, so we're going to change that. So we're looking for jumper number 21 in order to disable the write protection. If I can ever get that camera actually where I'm trying to show you. There, I might have done it. There it is, jumper 21. Jumper 21 actually disables floppy drive write. So what we have to do is I thought I could move it to the other side, but of course they both connect. Moving it over didn't do the job. I ended up having to remove the jumper to make it work, as I'll show here in a second. So this is where I had tried it with the jumper moved to the left, and unfortunately I lost the footage of the screen capture, but I'll just tell you what I'm doing. So I basically tried to format a disk, and it occurred to me, well, maybe I have to remove the jumper completely to make this work. So there goes the jumper, and I'll power it up here. So I put a new floppy in and tried to format it. Lo and behold, look at here. It is writing. So we got that all sorted out. Pretty cool. So this is before and after picture. Sums up our project nicely here. There's still work to be done. The faceplate, floppy drive are slightly yellowed. For this to work as a bridge computer, which I want, we need to install an IDE to CF adapter, and to make it a better gamer, it needs a sound card. We'll address these issues the next time we work on this computer. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, you might want to subscribe. It's a great no-cost way to support the channel. Till the next one, y'all take care.